You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back to Murder Speaks. I hope everyone's having a great week. So today's real crime story is about 26-year-old Casey Morgan of Steeleville, Illinois. She was a mother, and she worked at Spartan Light Metals in Sparta, Illinois. October 5th, 2007, at 7:53 a.m., 911 was called. Casey was lying on the floor, surrounded by blood. Her throat was cut, and she had 5 stab wounds and defensive wounds on her body. The police found her deceased. There was blood spatter on the ceiling, and there was blood spatter on her child who was in the crib. There was another person in the house when Casey was killed. It was Michael David Roy. He tells police he's Casey's boyfriend, and he went to see her and heard the baby crying. So he went inside and found her on the floor. There was a toddler in the crib close to Casey.
The young mother was found dead in her home. Police aren't saying much about the circumstances surrounding her death.
Casey was living with her boyfriend, Ron Burmester. Apparently, she had 2 boyfriends, David and Ron. Michael David Roy and Ron Burmester. But she had the same boyfriend since high school, who was Ron Burmester. 5 months before Casey's murder, several police were sent to her house. Ron and Casey were fighting, and it became physical. Apparently, Casey's boyfriend left her at the bar, and Casey was mad because their child had not been put to bed. She admitted to police that she slapped Ron, and he cut the phone cord when she tried to call 911. They were both sent to jail. Michael David Roy tells police that he met Casey at work, and they were in love, and she was going to leave Ron. The police question him and take his DNA. The police also question Ron. He tells police he and Casey have been together since he was 18 and she was 16. They broke up because they couldn't get along, but got back together because she was pregnant. Ron was at the house the night before Casey was killed. The morning of the murder, he kissed her goodbye before he left for work. He stopped off at Huck's to get a soda, and the police confirmed that on surveillance. Everything Ron tells police checks out, so he is eliminated as a suspect. Casey's coworker was with her the night before her body was found. The police question him. He tells police that he was working with Casey the night before, and they left in his vehicle. When they returned, Michael David Roy walked by his truck and gave him a dirty look. So he went in the building, and Casey and Michael David Roy started fighting. Hey people. If you like gaming, check out Michelin gaming headphones. Great sound quality, super comfy, and not expensive at all. If you're decorating your room and looking for ideas, check out Kiko's smart LED strip lights. My daughters have these in their room, and they love them, and they look fabulous. They're easy to install and comes with a controller, and it works with an app as well. But don't just take my word for it. Go and get your own. UB-size selfie ring light and stand comes in so handy when I'm doing my videos. It's easy to use and has 3 different light tones, so my videos come out great. My phone fits perfectly, and it's stable and lightweight, so it can be moved around easily. Great bang for your buck. I just love false eyelashes, especially on a night out. Check out New Collie false eyelashes. They are easy to apply, come with many pairs you can use more than once. Totally worth the money. More information can be found in the show notes. If you're a true crime addict like me, check out my store, crystalkiss.com, for some murder merch and start killing it. So many designs to choose from at a great price. You can use discount code MURDER15, that's MURDER15, and save 15% off your entire order. And for US orders only, Order 3 or more items and get free shipping. More information can be found in the show notes. Back to Murder Speaks. A neighbor spotted a guy in a green pickup truck sitting in front of Casey's house or Casey's door. He would leave and come back. It looked like Casey was being stalked. On the day of the murder, he was seen running out of Casey's house and taking off in the green pickup truck. Michael David Roy had a dark green pickup truck. The police found blood in his vehicle. On the morning Casey was found deceased, Michael David Roy called his best friend very upset, and she recorded it.
Casey came by last night and told me to come by this morning at like 7:30, and I walked in there. Jeff, I walked into her house and she's laying on the floor. Jeff.
It appears he was at the residence for about 30 minutes before he called 911. And his phone records show that he made 2 calls before he called 911. One unanswered call, and the other was to his friend. Michael David Roy was stalking Casey. He was obsessed with her. Blood spatter found on Michael David Roy's clothes suggests he was in close proximity to Casey when she was stabbed. He was arrested. The morning Casey was killed, Ron was gone. Michael David Roy came in the house and stabbed Casey 5 times while their child was in the crib. He was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 60 years in prison. Michael David Roy remains incarcerated at Pontiac Correctional Center in Livingston County, Illinois. He will be eligible for parole in 2067. Wow, this is just crazy. He was stalking her. He tells police that they were in love, but she was clearly in love with Ron, and Michael couldn't handle that. In his mind, if I can't have her, then nobody can. And what kind of a monster would kill a young lady in front of their little child? Like, that's just awful. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of Murder Speaks. If you like it, please share it. Sharing is caring. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Join me next week on Murder Speaks. Bye.